Hey, y'all, Elise Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Awesome Podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of 3, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the Socially Awesome channel. Very excited today to be coming back to you with another female entrepreneur. Today we are going to be with Lynn Perez. Super excited because she is something so unique, a divine empowerment coach. So when first of all, I've got to tell you guys, like, she's been the most patient person today because just as trying to get this recording for you guys has been insane. With we've had, y'all know I live in Hurricane Central, so we've got weather, and then I've had technology issue after technology issue, but she is here, and I cannot wait to hear more about what you do and who you serve. So thank you so much for being patient and joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So I read your bio, and of course I'm going to link everything below, you guys, but she empowers professional women, to tap into their inner magic, wake up their soul. And one of my favorite things that I read in her bio is to manifest whatever the hell they want. And I'm telling y'all, and Crystal, I know you and I met very short time ago, in a networking group, but like, that's me, y'all. Like, I'm just up here doing whatever the hell I want to do, and I'm going to make myself happy. So I felt that from you day one when we did a little connect call and was like, yes, I got to have her. So tell me a little bit about what you do with your clients. Like, how do you help them feel that empowerment? Because I think so many female entrepreneurs are lacking that.
Yeah. And here, the thing is that intuition has the right answers. Intuition knows where to lead you. And we can get caught up in like pushing the rock uphill, taking all this action. And if we don't tune in first and make sure it's aligned action and make sure it's the right action, then we're like wasting our time. And well, time's one of the precious things that we have, right? We certainly don't want to waste it.
Right. I love that.
Yeah. So it's really a combination of like my mindset, coaching, my intuitive gifts, my spiritual abilities, my energy healing, as well as I've done leadership coaching and things like that. So I can see, right? I have the gifts to be able to see you at your true potential, to be able to see your blocks, to be able to call you out on your stuff when I need to, give you the kick in the butt when I need to, or just love on you when I need to, right?
Right.
So it's just a beautiful blend that is uniquely me, and also what my clients need to really shift, right? It's like you tried manifesting, it's working a little, it's not really working, or you're just unfulfilled and you don't really have what you truly want, even though maybe you've had career success, for example, right? But you want more love, more connection. You want to be connected to your spiritual self. So that's what I help them do. And then in turn, it's amazing how intuition can help you manifest whatever you want too. Yeah. And sometimes I come at it, like I've had different coaching programs over the years, and I have one-on-one clients as well. But sometimes I come at it from a mindset manifesting, which is still spiritual point of view. And sometimes I've had programs that just focus on the intuition and psychic development. But what's amazing is they both increase confidence. They both are manifesting what they want. They both are putting themselves out there, like both groups of people is what I mean. And so I'm just blessed that I have all these gifts and that my confidence, like literally it just rubs off on my clients, right? So it's just beautiful.
Well, I mean, so many things that you said, right? Because like attracts like. So your confidence is going to rub off on other people because you know how to speak to them. And you, like you said, you are a visionary, which is one thing that when I first got into my business, I said in the beginning, I'm like, I was telling my coach, like, yeah, but tomorrow or next day, she's like, you got to think further than that. Like, you got to be a visionary to be able to put in the work long enough to get those things, And so, I mean, of course, I checked out your site, and I mean, you have got credentials through the roof, girl. Like, just the certified law of attraction practitioner and certified life coach. There's so many different elements of what you can help people with, that I feel like you have all the pieces to the puzzle to help people really get that, because they might get that mindset coaching, or they might get that, life coaching, but they're still missing, like you said, some of that unfulfillment, clarity.
Mhm.
So what does it look like? I know you said you've had programs, you do one-on-one coaching, but what does kind of your client journey look like? Or I'm sure it's different for everyone, but is this something you meet with people weekly? Is this something work that you do daily with them? Like, what does it look like to work with you?
Yeah, depending on the program, like group coaching is often weekly, in a weekly live format. I do love to do small groups and keep it live so that I'm there to answer questions. I'll give them energy healing. We'll get into the mindset, right? So I'm basically there. So it's not cookie cutter, right? It's tailored to what they need so I can pivot and do those things. And then for one-on-one coaching, it's usually 2 calls a month, and they also get like an online curriculum that I have, and they also have one-on-one access to me too. So of course, one-on-one, we get to go deep, we get to go into all the things. Releasing is a huge part of it, right? Releasing what's not working, releasing the past, the blocks, then shifting into positive mindset. What do I want, right? Just shifting
Right.
play, as well as, like, of course, the energy, the spiritual healing, the intuition, the self-love. And then what do you want? Working on what you want, manifesting what you want, taking the action. So that's kind of like the steps.
I love that. And I read a little bit on your website too about, using, I believe you use astrology, right? And a lot of your practices for like the sun and the rising sun. I think you have a free masterclass I even saw maybe on that.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that? Because that's so, so I have a friend I used to work with that would talk to me all the time about, like numbers and sun and the rising sun. And like, she asked for like my date of birth and what time I was born. And like, she was deep diving into my human design. And I'm like,
Yeah.
at the time, I mean, we were in a cubicle next to each other. So I'm like, girl, go
Mhm.
find something else to do. I'm like, whatever. Because I was so not emotionally intelligent then. And I was
Mhm.
definitely in the corporate space. I was living day to day, right? I was just trying to get to my 9 to 5. Like, I just got to pass the time. And she's like, no, I want to know more about you. And I'm like, why? So, but when I've heard more about that now that I've been in the entrepreneur space. I actually have a friend that does human design and has really dug into that. But I loved what I read on your website about using that to manifest what you want in your life. So, tell me about that. Tell me about that, because I'm just excited. I'm like, tell me my fun. I want to know.
So if you notice, like, I can't stop learning, right? Obviously, I didn't got all these credentials right away, but over the years, right, once I knew I wanted to be a coach years ago, I just, one thing at a time, I just keep, and it helps me too. And by the way, I'm a better coach because I'm learning all these different things. So I'm personally evolving, spiritually evolving, right? And then because of that, like, my clients just get deeper results because of the work I've done, right? Which is so beautiful. But astrology, yes, I love it. I've had coaches who were astrologers in the past, and I'd be like, I was good. I don't understand why this is coming up today. Why am I feeling like this? I worked through this, right? And I would reach out to them, and they'd be like, oh yeah, this is years ago, right before I did it. And they're like, oh yeah, I looked at your chart and this is there, that is this. So that's really makes sense. So I just feel like I've always been like synced up with the planets, synced up with the moon, synced up with all of it based on what then is happening in my life.
Right.
Using apps and different things right in the past too, looking at that. So I'm like, I just kept learning and finally found like a good program that really helped me to like know it all and land it. Cause I've been into it for years and I've been doing moon events, but now it's like, I do astrology readings. So we'll look at your birth chart. We can look at the timing as well, right? What happened, what's going to happen. But even just in your birth chart, by the way, is like everything's right there. It's kind of like a blueprint, right?
Yeah.
And it has like your talent, your purpose, your struggles, your personality, your career, like everything's in there. So even just looking at that, like you could spend hours and hours. But I have a great way to do like an astrology reading, which really helps you to know and love yourself and your talents and all those things. So you'll walk away feeling like seen and also like, oh great, I get to do this next, right? So
and I love, that's really cool that you say that, because like I said, when I was on a retreat with my friend that does human design, she's reading all these things to me, and I'm like, this is really weird, because like maybe if I would have read it myself, then I'd have been like, nah. But having it read to me and doing readings for people, I think I absorbed it more, where I was like, I am like that. I do that. Yeah. And she would say something like, maybe you're, a generator, or, and she would say, but you find it hard to do XYZ. And I'm like, yes, I do. So guys, when I tell you, it's really eye-opening, because like you said, you're a chronic learner. So am I. But I love diving into different things like that, because ultimately learning more about myself, like you said, is going to make me a better coach. It's going to make me a better business owner. It's going to make me a better mom. If I can understand why I get frustrated on certain days of the month, or why today it felt like everything was going wrong, or what, then that can make me, maybe you don't understand it in the moment, but I feel like it can make you be more either grateful or patient with situations.
I mean, like so many times as a mom, right? When you think like you could be losing it. Now, I've also had my moments where I lost it because I'm human. But I've been calm like so many times when they were not, right?
Yes.
And it's just like, if I didn't do all this work, right, that would never happen.
And I'll tell you guys, never hire a coach that's not investing themselves. I'm just going to drop that little ninja tip down here, because, as Crystal said, as I said, we've got to constantly be evolving to be able to help our clients evolve. So the fact, you could look at the front page of her website, and she's got credential after credential, which I'm going to ask you about too, about being a past life reader, because that's exciting too. So tell me, because girl, I feel like I need to come visit in person, because I'm like, I gotta get all these readings, right? So tell me a little bit about what that looks like for you, and how you've helped people with that too.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing is, we don't even have to be in person to do that. Everything I do, I can do virtually. But I tap in the same way when I do aura readings, past life readings, or Akashic readings. Basically, I'm using my clairvoyance and other abilities, and all kinds of information comes through in all kinds of different ways. When I do an aura reading, for example, like I might just give you advice to like get out in nature more, or your angels might come through and give a message, or a past loved one. Like you kind of don't know what's going to show up as you work through the layers of the aura. And then with past life, we're just literally I'm seeing it the way I do it. I'm seeing it and I'm telling you what's happening. And we'll just go to a past life, and it may be an empowering past life, or it may be like a past life where you're suffering. And me just looking at it clears that energy. And when it clears that energy in a past life, you can bet it's going to be more profound in this lifetime clearing it, right? Many people have things and they don't know why they have things. Like they're afraid of snakes. I mean, that's a stupid example, but right. And they're like, nothing ever happened with a snake or even a dog, right? Nothing ever happened. I don't know why I'm afraid of it, right? Yeah. And it could literally be like a past life thing. So it's really powerful. And then we repeat things, and there's karma, and there's all these things that carry over into this lifetime, right? That comes from past life. So yeah, it's really powerful and interesting.
That is really cool, because I've heard about, and you talked a little bit about it, about like releasing things, and I've heard about releasing trauma blocks and different things that you've gone through in your life.
but I've never really heard anybody talk about releasing things in your past life. So that is really unique. You've got so many unique things that you offer, which is great because it fills in what people maybe are missing elsewhere, right? They need that connection, they need that clarity, and it's just so unique. So I know you have a Facebook group, right? You've got a Facebook group. What is it? What do you do in there? What can people find in there? Because I'm going to link it below. Do you run challenges in there? Is that something that you work with your community in there? What does that look like?
Yeah, I've definitely done some challenges. I do moon events all the time. So like full and new moon events. I will sometimes do card readings. I will talk about different mindset topics as well, and intuition and all of that. So yeah, lots of fun live kind of things happening in the
group. They can learn a lot of these pieces there. That's awesome. So one thing I like to ask a lot of my entrepreneurs is because I have most of the women in my community is 85% women. Most of them are in the entrepreneurial space. So a lot of times they are, becoming an entrepreneur, whether they're full-time yet or not, they're going to have these blocks. They're going to have to learn how to release this stuff, or they're not going to be good business owners for sure. So what is something that, what are some things that you have done with clients that are business owners? What is something that you've, maybe a recent testimonial or something from an entrepreneur that would help them in their business as well?
I'm trying to pinpoint a specific person and example, because it's literally the process that I walk them through helps them feeling more confident. So then confident is the word they all use, right? They're all ready to put themselves out there because of it. But I think because I'm not coming at it from a business coach point of view, right? I'm not a business coach per se. It's really the personal stuff that needs healing and the getting in touch with your intuition. And then when they do that, it's they know themselves so clearly on a deeper level. And then it's just oh, okay, I want to do this and I'm going to go live. Going live is a lot of things that a lot of, I can think of at least probably more than 5 people who were just new to their business.
Yeah.
Maybe they post it, maybe they haven't posted at all. And after me working with them on this stuff, and then I have helped them one-on-one or in a group. I have spent a call to help them with some of their business stuff, right? So it's not my focus, but I have done it. So then it'll be and then they'll go live, right? Or they want to go live, and then I'll challenge them. So I literally challenge them and I give them the homework to go live or to do so many lives in a certain amount of time, right? Because you don't want this to be a hobby, right? You want it to be a business. So sometimes you do need that kick in the butt to just, you know what I mean? I had a client today messaging me that she signed up to, this is the one that I taught the psychic development to. So she signed up to be a vendor and go to an event, have a table, and she's going to give readings. And then she got all nervous because there were other readers there. And I'm like, okay, great. So the audience is primed for readings.
Right.
And she's just nervous because she's new to it, not because she's not good at it, by the way.
Right.
And so I'm telling her it's fine. I'm telling her all the good mindset things. And then I was now knock it off.
Yeah.
Right. I was knock it off. That's enough now. You're just listening to the negative mindset, which is total BS. It's not true. I'm now knock it off. And you got this. And she was thank you. Thank you for telling me to knock it off.
Yes. Yes. I love that, because honestly, that's what, if you're serious about getting coaching, that's what you need, honestly. Because if my coach was to always be, everything's okay, everything's good, fluff, 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 are they really helping me? Right. Mm-hmm. So, and the same with my clients. I will very quickly, I'll ask them, are you venting and you just need to get it out? Or are you looking for a response? And I ask them all the time, and I'll tell them, I think you're, maybe you had a bad day, but at this point you're just complaining. So let's move past it. What are we going to do different tomorrow? And I love that you just give them that kick in the pants, because that's what people don't get elsewhere from other people in their family or their, physical surroundings. They either get doubt or they just get a bunch of fluff. They don't usually get the directness that they need to be successful. And or get fulfillment or get clarity and connection and all of those things. So I love that you do that. All right. Another hard question. So what is one thing, because like I said, we do have a lot of ladies in the community that want to build their business and they're scared to go full force. They're scared to jump in. Maybe they're working in an hour a day right now. What is one thing that you wish you knew when you first started your businesses? Like, was it boundaries? Was it time management? Like, what was that mistake you either made over and over that you wish you could go back and rewind, or that you wish you would have known in the very beginning?
For me, it was fear. Like, I started off with a private Facebook group, and like that was cool. I went live in the group. Those are my people.
Right.
And like I was good with that, but it was like so sheltered and so like right.
Right.
It's kind of a different situation for me because I was going through divorce and I didn't want everything, like it was just, whatever, it is what it was. And then I slowly grew the business, right, because of that. But finally, I got to the point where I was like, I'm more afraid of not trying than I am to fail. And once I got there, which I wasn't there at first when I started the group, right? But once I got there, then I was willing to like show up and do more things. And speaking of astrology, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a water sign, but I have a ton of fire in my chart. So fire signs, they love to just jump in and just do stuff. Like you learn by doing, right? Yeah. So once I finally got that, right? And and we're so stuck in until you like break free and just go for it. Like you have to be willing to fall. You got to be willing to not know what's going to happen, because the other option is that you're not living.
Yeah. Agreed. And that's the fear is where it's at, because everyone has the different fears, but ultimately I think everyone's fear, I did a training on this a long time. Well, I took a training on it and then I've trained on it too. But I think everyone's fears come down to the fear of being alone. Like you can almost dwindle every single fear down to the fear of being alone. Mm-hmm. And some people are scared of what people are going to say on Facebook, because ultimately then no one's going to like them and they're going to be alone. Like you can always come back to that. And because we're humans and we're built on connection. And I think that's what people are most scared of, even though as a mom, sometimes I wish I could be alone. But ultimately, I love that you said that, because there are a lot of people that maybe they're not acknowledging their fear. Mm-hmm. And so they're using everything else as an excuse, right? Oh, it's the algorithm. Oh, it's, I don't have any time in the day or whatever. But it usually boils down to fear, because if you want it and you're not scared to go get it, you can manifest, you can have it.
Yeah. It's fear and mindset, right? It's both, because you have to be willing to, you have to shift your mindset. And the thing is too, if you're afraid of doing lives and you do so many lives, you will eventually not be afraid of doing lives. Right. Like it's just.
Yeah. And the more you do, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, I would panic if something would go wrong on a live.
Yeah.
I'd be horrified. Like I couldn't sleep that night because my computer died in the middle of the live, and now I'm like, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Yeah. I'm like, it is what it is. Things happen. Here we go. Tornado alley, all the things. So, I love this. This was so good. So I want to talk a little bit as we wrap up into, of course, for everyone listening, in the show notes, we will have links for you to connect with Crystal on her Facebook or Instagram. I'll make sure to include her group as well. Her website's on there, but she's offering a freebie to everyone listening as well. So she has got a enhanced intuition and trust yourself guide. It's all about making the right decisions for you in 5 steps. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I want to make sure everyone grabs that in the show notes as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, intuition is the key to everything, right? And I know when I was first starting, I was like, oh, is it my intuition or is that ego, or right? And I was like wobbly as I was first like waking up. So this guide is going to help you to give you the tips to trust yourself to make the right decisions for you. And it also actually includes a masterclass connecting with your higher self, which is an even more powerful way, right, to connect with your intuition. So you get the PDF and the masterclass. So super valuable. Definitely grab it. And then you could always book a free call with me. If something in there lights you up, triggers you, ignites you, let's dive deeper.
Yes. Oh, this was so good. I want to just thank you again so much for being patient with me and all of my issues today,
Yeah.
but two, for joining us, because this is unique. This is something that, I run across people all the time on social media that are doing social media management or, business coaching, but what you have to offer is so different. And it really is special. It's a special place. And I mean, I'm intrigued by all the things, if you couldn't tell. Like, tell me my son, tell me like, give me all the things. So I'm so excited to just continue to connect with you and learn from you. I'm going to hop in your group so I can learn a little bit more about that too. And yeah, you guys, like, check out the show notes. Make sure you grab all of her value down there. And she's even got more than what we talked about today on her website too. So check that out. There's a free masterclass on there as well. So thank you again for being here with me today. This was awesome.
Thank you so much. It was fun and great to connect. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, that is it for today's episode. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome. Bye, guys.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Elise Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience, and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.